Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a phenomenal Saturday wherever you are in the world. Before we get started, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to JJAC Aesthetics if you're not already subscribed. And to all other subscribers I already have, I just hit 300 and I've been building JJAC Aesthetics for many, many years. 300 subscribers has been a complete grind, but it just makes you more grateful for those numbers, all the people who are subscribed wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. I don't always get the engagement, which means I'm probably not doing the best job with my videos, but I do work hard on putting these videos together. I'm a full-time worker, full-time father, a lot going on in life, building multiple businesses. And the hardest thing is I'm wearing many hats, but I'm also having to educate myself on so many things. So it's always a grind. It's exhausting. It's emotional. It's a lot of different things. So continue to give me some grace. And I'm just daily trying to make these videos and make the content more interesting, more entertaining, without becoming some characterized version of myself. This is just not me, okay? Anyway, going to go get some training in today, and I'm trying to slowly move into more structured training. If you follow JJAC Aesthetics for any amount of time, you know that I prefer to be dynamic, meaning I can go into the gym with a specific plan, but depending on how I'm feeling during the session, I may change. I could do something else. And it's worked out for me in the past, but I just took a real hard look at myself, some self-analysis, and it's all about awareness, right? With JJAC Aesthetics, it's passion, progress, purpose. And that just keeps me grounded, and it keeps me focused on the vision, right, for my life and the channel, and how I want to display my life to all of you. So with that hard analysis and look at myself, there's 4 areas that I want to work on, and I think just approaching that with a more structured plan over the next 52 weeks will be the most optimal, if you will, if you want to use that word. And that is back thickness, my calves, my chest, and there's another thing, chest, calves, back thickness. Did I say chest? There's 4. But those are the areas I want to work on. And today, Saturday, shoulders. I don't know if y'all can see that. I got my entire plan organized and structured. Hopefully you can see that. So we're going to be starting with some dumbbell lateral raises, some machine lateral raises, some dumbbell delt flies, and then some reverse pec deck, and then moving into arms, some preacher curls with dumbbells, by the way, incline curls with dumbbells, some tricep push downs with the rope, and then some overhead extensions. I might do that with a cambered bar, or I might do that with the cables. We'll see how the session works out, but that is the protocol today, and I will absolutely be sticking with it. I will see you all at the gym, okay? Peace. All right, we're gonna get right into this. Passion is one of those words people throw around like it's a personality trait. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about that. But if you strip the word down, passion isn't something you have, it's something you feed. You weren't born with a passion for training. You weren't born with a passion for business. You weren't born with a passion for content design or storytelling. I'm gonna try to keep it really strict today, so I'm not gonna go super heavy. Heaviest I'll probably be able to go is maybe say the 30-pound dumbbells, and I'll likely be able to get maybe 8 to 10 reps with that. I'm gonna try to keep the volume decent too, like at least 3 solid working sets. I do have a lot of exercises to get through. So somewhere along the line, you made a decision. Maybe small, maybe subtle, maybe so buried in your memory you can't even point to the exact moment anymore. But you chose. You chose to come back to something again. And that's where passion quietly starts, in repetition. Not the first rep, not the first session, not the first idea. The second time, the third time, the 15th time. Most people think passion is this lightning strike. One day you wake up and suddenly you care deeply about something. But if you look a little closer, a lot of passion is built like scar tissue. You got hurt, you got embarrassed, you got challenged, you got curious, you got obsessed. And instead of retreating from that feeling, you kept leaning in. You kept showing up to the thing that made you feel alive or angry or small or hungry. You kept revisiting that feeling and you let it reshape you. So the real question isn't, what am I passionate about? The real question is, what have I been feeding? What have I been returning to on purpose or by habit? Long enough that it's starting to own me, because passion is dangerous. Passion can build you or passion can destroy you. You can be passionately disciplined or passionately self-sabotaging. You can be passionately pursuing growth or passionately numbing yourself. Scroll long enough and you'll build a passion for distraction. Argue long enough and you'll build passion for being right instead of being honest. Chase approval long enough and you'll build a passion for being seen instead of being real. So with this one, I want to keep my rep range relatively high. So I'm 15 to 20 reps. So obviously I can't go as heavy as I did with the dumbbells, but we'll see how that works out. Maybe I'll have to change that up and go heavier next time. I don't know. We'll see. Most people won't even call it passion. They'll say, that's just how I am. No, that's how you train yourself to be. So here's a question you might not like. What did you accidentally become passionate about? Because you did. You became passionate about something you never sat down and chose. Something that quietly took over your energy, your time, your attention. Ask yourself, what do I run to when I don't want to face myself? What do I endlessly invest in, even when it doesn't give me anything back? What do I defend, even when it clearly isn't helping me? That's passion too, just misdirected. Now flip it. Think about something that genuinely stretches you. Something that makes you uncomfortable, but in a way that feels necessary. Something that leaves you tired but proud. Something that leaves marks on your mind, not just on your calendar. It doesn't have to be training. It could be building something, learning something, creating something, fixing something broken in yourself. And ask, when did I first feel a spark for this? Why did I ignore it or chase it? Who was I trying to prove something to? Myself? Someone else? Nobody? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Passion often starts as proof. Proof that you're not weak. Proof that you're not average. Proof that you're capable. Proof that your life can be something different. And most people will tell you to fix that, to make your passion pure and detached and clean. But maybe passion doesn't need to be pure to be real. Maybe it just needs to be honest. So be honest. What are you trying to prove? To yourself? To the kid you used to be? To the person who doubted you? To the version of you that let things slide too long? I'm about to get into some dumbbell flies for my rear delts, which need a lot. Peak. If you can answer that even partially, you're closer to understanding what your passion actually is. And then you get to choose. Do I keep feeding this? Do I refine it? Do I redirect it? Or do I starve it and let something new grow? Because whether you realize it or not, passion is the foundation. Not because it feels good, but because it decides where your energy goes when nobody's watching. This is a tricky one for me. I want to feel it, but I have a tendency to lift my torso too much. But we'll see. Let's talk about progress. Everybody loves progress in theory. New levels, new milestones, new numbers, new achievements. But progress is not just more. Progress is more of what? That didn't feel too bad. Well, that was only 25 pounds. I'm going to try to get 3 sets with some 40-pound dumbbells. Oof. So with this movement, I have a tendency of trying to pull too hard and then feeling it in my traps. So what I try to do, and what seems to be working, is when I fly, I pull the dumbbell to right about my thigh height. And if I can keep it there, it just feels like a more honest movement. I'm not over exaggerating the fly or pull. And I noticed from the first set to the second set that I felt it more in those rear delts and not my traps. So if you're feeling it in your traps when you're doing these dumbbell flies, bent over flies, then you might be trying to pull a little bit too much. And you just want to limit that. Maybe that'll help you. If you're not careful, you'll wake up 5 years from now with more results, more responsibility, more proof, and less of yourself. More strength, less peace. More money, less meaning. More followers, less identity. More motion, less direction. Progress is sneaky like that. We're taught to worship visible progress, the transformation shot, the new car, the launch, the upgrade, the before and after. The most dangerous progress is the kind that looks good on the outside and silently erodes you from the inside. Next movement are head deck flies. And just like the machine laterals, I'm going to try to keep the rep range high, like 15 to 20 reps, but we'll see. And that's because I did heavier reps with the dumbbells. Keep in mind, heavy is relative, so heavy for me. So I'm going to try to keep these reps high, and I'll do 3 sets. Let me ask you, when you say you want progress, what exactly do you want more of? More clarity, more control, more freedom, more respect, more love, more power, more peace? Because not all progress delivers the same currency. That was 20 reps. I am going to drop the seat down 1 notch. I watched Punisher, One Last Kill. John Bernthal as Frank Castle. I can't imagine anyone else playing Frank Castle after his role. A lot of people played Punisher Frank Castle, but John Bernthal, he is Frank Castle. The series is super dope. There's so many good episodes, so many memorable characters, stories. Loved it, loved it, loved it. In fact, I'm gonna go back and watch the first season. And then I think One Last Kill was like the second season. I could be wrong. Drop a comment if you like that. Punisher One Last Kill. Phenomenal television series.
You can progress in strength and regress in self-awareness. You can progress in wealth and regress in integrity. You can progress in status and regress in authenticity. Progress without alignment is just you getting better at walking away from yourself. Watch how you measure it. Is progress to you purely numerical? More weight, more revenue, more views, more followers, more reps? Or is progress something quieter? I don't break the same when I used to. I don't run from the same conversations. I don't numb myself in the same patterns. I can sit with my own thoughts longer without needing an escape. Those are forms of progress you can't screenshot, but they might be the ones that actually matter. There's another layer. Progress exposes you. When you start moving forward, you uncover what you really believe about yourself. You hit a wall and suddenly you hear, of course, this isn't happening to me. I knew it wouldn't work. I'm not built for this. This is just how my life goes. Those aren't random thoughts. They're old scripts. Progress is the pressure that brings those scripts to the surface.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
I bomb atomically.
All right, so this is my favorite preacher curl setup. The camber bar is cool, the straight bar is cool, but these dumbbells, the stretch and the squeeze at the top is S tier. Try it
So
out.
if you truly care about progress, you can't just chase outcomes. You have to confront those hidden narratives. Ask yourself, what do I assume about myself when things don't go right? What do I assume about myself when things do go right? Do I sabotage my own momentum because becoming more feels unsafe?
Like electrical bolts shooting right into my biceps.
The pump is always out there.
I think that was a 40-pound. I don't need to go any heavier than that. That's it.
Here's our harsh reality. Some people fear progress more than failure. Failure is familiar. It's painful but predictable. You can blame it, narrate it, wear it like identity. Real progress, the kind that starts shifting who you are and what you're capable of, that's terrifying. Because now you're not who you used to be. You can't go back and pretend you never knew better. You have fewer excuses. You have less space to lie to yourself. Progress raises the minimum standard of what you consider acceptable for your own life. That's why some people hit a new level, then quietly self-destruct back down to what they're used to. They say things like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I wasn't ready. It was too much, too fast. And sometimes that's real. But sometimes it's comfort reclaiming them. So here's a simple but brutal question. What level of life have you decided you're allowed to have? And have you ever challenged that limit? Because progress is not just climbing, It's refusing to accept the ceiling you inherited from your environment, your past, or your own doubt.
Oh, it is so hard not deviating from the plan. Right now, I want to do some hammer curls. You're not on the list. Oof. So hard, so hard. That's what's making me better. At least that's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
Hammer curls, because it feels right. It feels right. But 52 weeks of structure. That's the mission. Can I stick with it? That's the question. All right, got one last set of these preacher curls.
This is where choices start cutting deep. Every day, you're stacking something. Stacking excuses or stacking evidence. Stacking regret or stacking resilience. Stacking noise or stacking clarity. You might not see it in the mirror yet, but it's building. Layer by layer, decision by decision, distraction by distraction, rep by rep. And then one day, you look at your life and realize, I built this. Not just the good, not just the bad, all of it. Progress is ownership. Owning the fact that your current reality is a project you've been working on, even while claiming you were stuck. So now the question becomes, if my life is a project, am I proud of the architect? Do I like how I've been designing this? Do I like the structure I'm living inside right now? If not, don't panic, but don't lie. Progress is the moment you stop lying long enough to admit what needs to change. And then you change it. Not with a New Year's resolution, not with 40 grand declarations, but with that quiet decision. I'm not feeding this version of me anymore. And then you don't. Now we reach the uncomfortable word, purpose. People talk about purpose like it's this glowing destiny waiting for you at some mystical finish line. Find your purpose. Live your purpose. Be your purpose. Cool words, easy to post, hard to live. Let's cut through the fog. Most people don't have a clear, cinematic purpose statement. They have a vague sense of what feels meaningful, mixed with a ton of confusion, fear, and second guessing. They don't wake up every day with thunder in their chest and clarity dripping from their thoughts. They wake up wondering, is this it? Am I doing the right thing? Did I miss my calling? Is my life supposed to feel like this? And you might be there right now. You might look at your own grind, your training, your work, your projects, your routines, and quietly think, why? What is all this for? That question is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of awareness. You're awake enough to realize effort doesn't automatically equal meaning. You can give your whole day, your whole week, your whole year to something and still feel empty. So let's confront this. Do you need purpose to drive your choices? Or is it enough to just follow desire, impulse, instinct, whatever feels good in that moment? On one side, you have that raw animal voice in your body. I want this. I crave this. I'm drawn to this. Food, sex, status, attention, comfort, control, escape. There's nothing wrong with desire in itself. Desire is information. It tells you something about how you're wired, what you feel, what you lack, what you long for. But desire is not a compass by itself. Desire without direction is a fire with no containment, strong enough to burn through your whole life and leave nothing stable behind. On the other side, you have purpose. What makes this worth the sacrifice? What makes this worth the time I'll never get back? What bigger story am I contributing to, even if nobody knows my name? Purpose is slow, heavy, and often quiet. It rarely screams. It usually nudges. It doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes purpose feels boring, repetitive, uncomfortable, demanding. Because purpose doesn't exist to entertain you. It exists to anchor you. So which one drives your choices more right now? Raw desire or anchored purpose? You can lie to everyone else. You can't lie to yourself. When you choose to train, to study, to build, to create, to fix something in your life, does that choice feel like you're answering a deeper call? Or does it feel like you're trying to drown out a deeper emptiness? Stop. Don't rush that question. Sit with it. Because here's the twist nobody likes. Purpose is rarely obvious at the beginning. You start something because you're curious, or angry, or insecure, or ambitious, or hungry, or bored, and you keep doing it. You push through the parts that don't make sense. You push through the plateaus. You push through the moments where you want to throw the whole thing away. Somewhere along the path, purpose starts to emerge. Not all at once, not in one epiphany, but in fragments. You realize you're different when you're doing this. You realize you feel more human when you're committed to this. You realize other people are affected when you pursue this fully. You realize there's something about this work that hits deeper than success. Purpose often shows up after you've already sacrificed for something, which means if you're waiting for perfect clarity before you move, you're going to wait forever. You don't think your way into purpose. You walk your way into it. You go through days that don't feel legendary. You go through unrewarded effort. You go through seasons where you're building in the dark. And years later, you look back and realize that was shaping me. That was preparing me. That wasn't random. Here's another uncomfortable layer. Sometimes you will outgrow a purpose. What used to drive you won't drive you anymore. What used to feel heavy and sacred will feel light and distant. That doesn't mean you were wrong before. It means you've evolved. The danger is clinging to yesterday's purpose because you're scared to face today's questions. You keep running the same plays long after your soul has left the building. You keep pushing in a direction that no longer resonates deeply just because you don't want to admit you've changed. So ask yourself honestly, is this thing I'm grinding for right now still my purpose or just my habit? Am I still fully inside this mission, or am I just scared of letting it go? Do I feel alive in this direction or simply obligated? No guru, no book, no podcast could answer that question for you. Only you can. And your body knows, your mind knows, your exhaustion knows, your excitement when it shows up knows. Purpose is not always loud. Sometimes purpose is the quiet, stubborn feeling that says, even if nobody claps, even if nobody understands, even if this takes longer than I want, I know this is worth my life.